Our next guest is the author of Future Man, How to Evolve and Thrive in the Age of Trump, Mansplaining, and #MeToo. Let's welcome Tim Samuels.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us, Tim. So tell us about your book. How can men evolve to cope more with the way the world has changed? Like this coping mechanism. Talk to us about that.
So much of male identity and self-esteem is tied up with the jobs that they do, but those jobs for life don't exist anymore. We're in this kind of gig economy, short-term economy. And automization's coming along, which is going to wipe out quite a few jobs.
Hopefully not us.
Well, I mean, you're kind of automating your auto cue already, so you know.
Yeah.
But we don't want robots to report the news now, Tim.
I don't know. On some news channels, that might be preferable. So it's about having skills that you can face the new economy and work, because when guys don't have work, that's a problem not just for them but for society as a whole, because it builds up this base of frustration and anger when men don't have that self-esteem that comes from work.
And that's exploding in politics around the world. You're from the UK?
Yes.
Yeah, so you guys have seen the first symptom of that over there with Brexit.
Yes, we kind of caught the cold, you caught the flu.
The whole world's getting sick
Europe's
right now with
got its
populism.
sniffles as well. So, if you look at the demographic, it's male-driven. Brexit was a majority male vote. Far-right parties in places like Germany are a majority male. Over here, Trump had the male support as well. So men who are on their downers are this kind of radical potential ripe for populism to come along.
So tell us something. Do you think that Me Too, for men, some men are intimidated by Me Too because it creates a situation where they're just nervous in the workplace? So how do men navigate this new landscape that's changed so radically and so fast?
I mean, I think that's right. I mean, Me Too was no doubt an overdue reckoning for powerful men who have been abusing that power. And those who are being brought to account for that, good. On the other hand as well, it has created a sense where a lot of guys feel really paranoid about what they say, knowing that, a badly timed joke or a misplaced compliment, if taken the wrong way, can cause you all sorts of problems. There was a case in the UK where it was a 72-year-old Nobel Prize-winning cancer scientist who made essentially a bad dad joke and was summarily stripped of his academic posts. And that, I think, just gives men all room to pause. So, on the one hand, there was a lot of male behaviour that did need calling out and holding to account. But on the other hand, I just think guys feel, I'm going to err on the side of caution before maybe risking a joke. And I think somewhere in the middle we can find the equilibrium.
How, there is diversity in the workplace, but oftentimes women, we feel left out of the conversation. But let's look at on the positive side. How can a man in a powerful position use his voice to help empower women rather, to give them a voice, let's say in a conference room or at the boardroom in the office? How can they turn a negative to a positive instead of approaching it with the paranoia, but rather with some confidence to say, well, you know what, let's do this together. Let's look at this as equals and let's give women a voice too.
The traditional machismo style of management feels really outdated, whether it's kind of shouting and hectoring, bullying.
That's still alive in many places.
But it feels like it's, probably more in some industries, less, I think, in the media than perhaps in finance. But that sense of machismo management and always projecting certainty feels very outdated. And a more consensual approach, whether it's including women around the table or guys who maybe feel a bit shy or reticent to speak up, has to be welcomed. We need to be emotionally much smarter these days. As guys, we need to admit our vulnerabilities and sometimes say we don't know the answers and we need help, and be willing to listen more and not just kind of fill the room with our own voice.
That applies to relationships too. Listen.
Listen.
Yes.
Don't yell and scream.
That's right.
Stop. So where do you think we're going next? You know, the movement has revolutionized the way we interact in the workplace. You know, it hasn't really touched politics yet, evidently. I mean, to an extent it has, but not fully. What's the next chapter in this revolution of the way men and women interact, you know, females in leadership positions, et cetera, et cetera?
I mean, it's feels very economically driven, so I think there is a kind of inexorable move towards greater equality. And, you know, I see that in the media and certain other industries. But I do also sense that there are dark clouds looming when automation kicks in and millions of jobs are going to be lost. And what do we do? You know, with those people who perhaps don't have the skills, you're going to have millions of people who are going to struggle to find a place in society. And, you know, there's talk of handing out basic living incomes and minimum wages, but I think, particularly for men with that sense of entitlement and pride, it's quite something to swallow, the idea of, well, you're not economically productive, but here's a basic wage, off you go and don't cause any social trouble. So I think politics is going to become more fractious, and we're going to have some turbulent times ahead.
Wow.
Wow. Tim Samuels, author of Future Man, How to Evolve and Thrive in the Age of Trump, Mansplaining, and Me Too. Thank you for joining us.
Talk about a current title.
Yeah.
Should I have left it on a more positive note?
You still have a chance, Tim. We haven't kicked you out of the studio yet.
When I said turbulent times, what I meant was everything's going to be beautiful. There's going to be a world of equality. It's great. The birds are going to sing. The rainbows are going to come out.
That's right.
Yeah, you're British. You're supposed to be understated, Tim. So anyway, stay cool in this on this warm day and have a great afternoon.
Thanks for joining us.
Cheers.